Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking you through a day in my life on general medicine placement. Today is my second last day of Gen Med before I transition to general surgery next week. Gen Med is a really important rotation as a medical student because it gives you exposure to a broad range of pathologies that are common in hospital medicine. The day starts at around 8 AM when we have handover from the night team. The night team talks about any new patients who have been seen in ED and admitted under general medicine. After handover, we go to the wards to see all the patients that are on our list. This involves managing any issues that may have arisen overnight and continuing to care for the patient until they are well enough to be discharged home. For me, the day ends at around 4 PM when there are no more jobs that I can help with and the team is sick of having me around. Okay, the day is over. It's now 4:20 PM. It was a really long day. We were on post-take, so that means that we were seeing all the new patients who had been admitted to ED and that were now going to be transferred to a medical team. So our team was responsible for admitting all those patients and looking after all those new patients. So we had, I think, around 14 patients overnight, which is a lot for this hospital. So our ward rounds, which typically go from around 8:30 to 11:30, today it went to 1:30. So that just shows how much, or how many more patients we had today than usual. But today was a pretty good day. It's weird, at the beginning when you first go into the hospital, you don't know anything about where anything is. You don't know how anything works, especially in your first year of clinical placement. I mean, this is only my 6th week of being at the hospital. And even then, the first 2 weeks that I didn't feel like I actually got anything out of. And these past few weeks, I've only been going in 3 days a week. So anyway, but I feel like, the more that you go in, the more competent you feel and the more that you're actually able to contribute to your team. I feel like today in particular, I was able to do some things that the intern would be doing, like taking blood and calling a patient's family to kind of talk to them about the patient. And that's kind of stuff that you wouldn't usually do unless you were an intern or a doctor. And so being able to actually help and contribute to the team and reduce the team's workload felt pretty satisfying. So yeah, today was a pretty good day. And there was lots of interesting different patients. I actually can't really remember any of them because I don't know, for me as a novice to all this kind of stuff, when you see like 15 to 20 different people that you've never met before, and you have to learn each of their different conditions, how they've been treated in the past and what needs to be done now. It's quite overwhelming and it's hard to put a face to to your management plan and their disease that they have, and then remember their name and all that kind of stuff and their bed, all that jazz. So yeah, it was a good day though. Gen Med is really interesting. Anyway, now I'm going to drive back home and then just chill out for a bit, do some exercise and edit a video probably. And also probably do some study as well. Yeah. And I'll catch up with you guys later on. Alright, so it's now 9:15 PM. I'm going to do maybe 30 minutes of study and then do a little bit of journaling before I head off to bed. I haven't had a very productive afternoon. I got home, had a Magnum, which is, I don't know, an ice cream that I'm sure you probably know about. Oh, I don't know why I mentioned that. Okay. As soon as I got home, I had some ice cream and had a nap because I was just so exhausted from the day, and also because I had a bit of a headache from the day, because you don't get, like when you're on the wards at the hospital, you don't have that much time to just go and have some water. I mean, and I'm just a med student, I have nothing to do. So I can imagine if you're a doctor and you're actually doing stuff, you literally don't really have that much time to do stuff. For yourself. And then after that went for a walk with my parents and watched a lecture given by one of the surgical registrars, who was actually delivering it to the interns of the kind of Hunter New England network, which is just the local health district in this area. And because my sister's an intern, I was just watching the lecture with her. And as you might be hearing in the background, the lecture is going on even now, but it's kind of irrelevant to me as a medical student, so I decided to leave. So yeah, I'll probably just do 30 minutes worth of study and then head off to bed. For those of you who have followed my channel for a while, you would know that I am a fan of Ali Abdaal. And in his weekly newsletter last week, he sent out a message about the importance of recognizing that... God damn, there's so many cars that are driving past at this time, and with this window open, you can hear them ever so loud. Anyway, apologies. Let's start that again. If you've been following this channel for a while, you'd know that I'm a big fan of Ali Abdaal, and in his newsletter last week, he talked about how we usually set really high expectations and standards for ourselves, and often these standards are things that we can't actually adhere to every single day. And it's okay because, you know, the way that you, particularly when it comes to work, if you want to be productive, you know, every waking hour that you're awake, then you can kind of look at the way that you've spent your time and be dissatisfied with how you've spent your time, or you can choose to view it in a positive light and be happy with the way that you've spent your time. And I think that just this subtle mindset shift of looking back at the way that you've spent your time and being satisfied that you've done, you know, things that you wanted to do. You might not have necessarily ticked off everything on your to-do list, but at least having done some of those things, then that's something that you can be happy about. You don't have to always be working at 100% efficiency because, you know, what are you optimizing for? At the end of the day, you've got to enjoy every day as it comes because there's no... Yeah, because at the end of the day, what are you optimizing for? You have to enjoy each and every day because if you don't, then, you know, what's the end goal? You reach, you know, that financial goal and you're not happy for the past 5 years that you've been working towards that goal. So what's the point? So I think, yeah, just that subtle shift. And I was kind of thinking about that today, and I guess I felt in myself innately unproductive in the fact that I had a 1.5 hour nap, and then I didn't really do solid exercise. I just went for a walk with my parents, and then I just kind of, like, I was sort of productive because I watched a medical lecture, but in reality it was just a way to hang out with my sister and feel like I was doing something without actually doing something that was useful to me. And so, but that's okay because I still learned a little bit, and you don't have to always be 100% efficient because, yeah, enjoy the process and all that jazz. Anyway, enough of my rambling, so I'm going to study for like 20 minutes and then... Yeah. Yeah, so you might be thinking, you know, he just said he was going to go study. Why is he looking at gimbals for mobile phones? The reason is, as you may or may not have noticed throughout this video, a lot of the footage that I shot was actually using my mobile phone and not the camera that I'm using right now. The reason for that being, I'm still too embarrassed to get my my camera out in public, especially at the hospital where I'm going to be with potential future colleagues and doctors who are going to be like assessing me and supervising me. And I don't know, I just feel like I'd cop too much judgment from them. And probably just, I mean, I'm sure that I probably wouldn't, but it's just me being self-conscious. Anyway, so that's why I don't use my camera out in public. And so I want to get into mobile phone videography a little bit more. And so I think a gimbal would be a good way to kind of up my game a little bit, because the camera that I've got is, you know, reasonable on my Samsung Galaxy S8, but it's not the best. And maybe a gimbal might add a little bit extra pizzazz to my videos that might make them more enjoyable for you to watch. I don't know. That's the theory. So I'm going to buy a gimbal probably tomorrow on my way home from the hospital. And then in future videos, you hopefully will be able to notice some better footage. And also just in general, I think mobile phone photography and videography is kind of going to be the future for the majority of the population. And I would like to become better at it so that I can actually put out some videos that help other people who are just getting started in this. like I am right now, to, you know, up their game when it comes to taking photos or making videos, like when you're traveling and all that kind of jazz. So I want to get better at it so I can help you guys in reality. So this is really an investment for you. Okay, so I'm just going to get back to reading this article about the gimbal, and then when I decide to buy it or not, I will switch to studying. Anyway, it's like 9:30 now, so I'll probably only study for 15 minutes. Whatever, it's all good. Alright.